Coming up in today's episode of Inspire to Inspire.
And at that very instant, I actually asked my co founder, why can't we have one single application which can bring all of these channels together? And I tell this to every entrepreneur, don't listen to anyone, listen to only one person, and that's your customer. They are the best teacher. They are the
Mr. M. Dongo.
Mr. Dongo.
Wonderful time working with Mr. G.
Mr. M. Dongo, and he is a 10x person.
I love your energy.
He just go like boom, 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 boom. It's amazing.
I always love the way this man carries himself with dignity and respect.
All right, hello there again, and welcome to another episode of Inspire to Inspire show. As you know that on this show, I bring people that inspires me, people that I learn from, people that you can also learn from, my friends, my business partners, and more. So today I have somebody that I actually decided to bring here because I've been using I've been actually using his too for it. I think it's almost a year now, and my life and my business have never been the same. Everything is now centralized, and it's just one big project that I never thought I was actually gonna jump into, and that I never thought as well that I was going to find something so affordable and something so good for an entrepreneur like you and myself. So he is an entrepreneur, marketing strategist, a co-founder and CEO of Bling Cloud. Yes, Bling Cloud, a platform that is helping solopreneurs, small business owners, and online business owners to streamline their customer relationships and actually have everything under one platform. And ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Mr. Kish. Mr. Kish, how are you, brother?
Good, my friend. Good, my friend. Thank you so much for having me on your show. Really appreciate it. And I'm also very sorry that we wanted to do this sooner, but there's a little bit of back and forth, right? But now finally we made it. So I'm super happy to talk with you and at the same time learn from you, right? What I can do on the show. So here to share whatever I know and happy to answer any questions you have.
I'm so excited. And thank you for also creating time. Yeah, I know that we're supposed to have this sometime back, but life happens. As entrepreneurs, there's always a lot of stuff happening, but so some of the stuff we can either avoid, some of that we can either go around it and stuff. Something like that. But anyway, I'm so glad that we are here. So before we really jump into this, okay, I just want to know a little bit of your background. Who is Kish really?
Okay, cool. So Kish, who is Kish? So maybe I can give a little long answer here, right? So an immigrant in the United States, just like anyone, right? Everyone is an immigrant in this country,
yeah.
right?
Uh,
Just born and raised in India in a very small town and moved to the States almost 10 years back in 2014, sorry, a little more than 10 years, to do my grad school. Went to Georgia Tech to study operations research, mathematics, and probability. So I was very good in math. And then moved to the Bay Area in 2015, started working with big tech companies from semiconductor to B2B SaaS like Dropbox. That's where I worked last. Mainly spent time in revenue planning team, go to market, sales planning, those kind of teams, right? 2020 when COVID started, right? As you know, we all were stuck at home and were working for big tech companies. Even though you make good amount of money, we had an ample time to kill, right? Because there's honestly not much work to do. So I said, what else can I do? And I was always entrepreneurial, right? So one thing I was doing at that time was I was importing COVID mask from China and I was selling it in the US. The business went well, but I could have done better. There was one problem which wasn't there at that time. It was my customer communication was all over the place, right? Phone calls, text messages, email, WhatsApp, Instagram, and you name it, right? And because of that issue, I missed some deals and lost some revenue because of that. And at that very instant, I actually asked my co-founder, Malika, who's an engineer, right? A great engineer. Why can't we have one single application which can bring all of these channels together so that small business owners can, do their work better and don't need to stress about switching applications, switching channels. And, as I'm sure many business owners, many entrepreneurs are listening to this, right? There was a back and forth. Should we do it? Should we not do it? Because one thing we knew was the big companies have already solved for this problem by building an entire application layer around it, by using tools like Zendesk and, all these kind of advanced tools, right? But for small businesses who are just starting off the ground and, maybe having like 2 or 3 people working for them or maybe 10 people, whatever it is, right? There wasn't much done for them, right? I mean, that space was still largely untapped. So we're talking about, to give you context, about 21 million SMBs in the United States alone. And it's not just limited to it. This problem is actually worldwide, right? There's nothing being done for SMBs when it comes to aggregated channels of communication. So we said, you know what? Let's do it. We built our application and we launched it almost like 2.5 years back in the market. The very first few customers who signed up with us, they became the best teachers, I would say. And I tell this to every entrepreneur, don't listen to anyone, listen to only one person, and that's your customer. They are the best teacher. They are the best teacher on the planet. No business school, no books, no advisors, nothing. It's your customer, right? Customer teaches you everything. Follow it religiously and you will do the right thing, right? So we became obsessed with customers. We listened to them and we quickly iterated upon the feedback, right? You have to act on the feedback with speed, with velocity. So we kept doing that and grown the product in terms of what it can do for SMB owners like you or many others, right? So as an example, I can go more and more into the product and everything, but that's kind of my journey, right? Started off and as a student in the country, worked with big tech companies, and then launched the product, solving the problem for small businesses.
Yeah, lovely. Well, so we actually gonna dive deep a little bit on the product, because that is one area that I am so obsessed with, because I love Bling. Every day I am in my Bling each and every day, texting or you're making calls. If there's somebody probably who is costing you a lot of money, that is me, because I make calls, international calls. Like our clients, they are just thrown all over the world, and we do make calls. And also with your team, everything, it is very very smooth, and I just love that. So Blink came, right? I know, like 2020, things were so crazy. We didn't have anything that was really really streamlined for online business owners. And COVID really really pressed us to open our eyes and try to be very much innovative. I still remember, at some point I have almost 8, if not 9 different logins, so that I can be able to deliver my product, my services to my clients. And when somebody signs up, they could get 5 emails with, this is first login, you need for this. This is the other link you need for this. I'm like, really now? How am I going to survive? Well, like, what am I gonna do? If I discovered the Bling in 2020, I was going to be the first international person to literally jump into it, because I've been looking and searching for something that does exactly what the Bling does. So, but what are some of the challenges that you actually faced when you were building this business? Because, yeah, well, the tech business, especially in this industry where other people might not even, look at it as something legit, because like right now, oh my goodness, we've got so many fly by nights and we've got so many things that looks a little bit refreshing, but when you sign up, it is totally nothing. So what are some of the challenges that you have been facing in actually building Bling up to today?
Sure. So first thing, I look at every challenge as a learning, as a new opportunity, right? So as an entrepreneur, you have to have that mindset. Okay, I got this challenge. That means a new opportunity has come to my door. I'm going to work my ass off and going to deliver what I can do to the best of my capability, and will keep improving, right? So that's number one. Number two, another ground rule, which I have set for myself and for my team and overall company. We tell our customers we are not a perfect product, and we're never going to be a perfect product. But what we tell our customers is we are going to be better every single day. And that's a promise we make to all our customers. And that's a life rule for anyone, right? The day you say you're perfect, you're dead. Game over, right? Nobody's perfect, right? So under those ground rules, right, I would say from a challenge or major learnings, I would say really when you're building a tech product, right, it's very important to work very closely with your initial adopters, like people like you, right, who come and who genuinely want you to be successful, right? So work with good customers, right? You'll meet all kind of people right? There will be people um, uh, who would say something and all this. But as entrepreneur, it's your duty to figure out who are good customers versus the other, right? And spend as much time as possible with these good customers, because these good customers will tell you what exactly you need to do to be more successful, right? So, number one, identify good customers. And it takes a while for you as an entrepreneur, especially if you're starting a business for the first time, to identify those good customers. Once you've identified that good set of customers, you will develop an intuition that whenever you meet new customers, you'll figure out, okay, these are good customers and these are okay customers. So identify those good customers, treat them like VIPs, share with them like what you're thinking. Don't put a mask with in front of them, right? Tell them like, hey, this is where I suck and this is my plan to get better, right? And they will tell you, yeah, this makes sense or not, right? So in my journey, that is a big discovery, a big learning. In the initial days, I wasn't able to do that very well. But as we progressed as a company, I figured out who are those good customers I want to spend majority of my time so that I can also learn from them, right? So that's super important. You need to have that student mindset, right? So that's number one. Number two, as early as possible, invest in customer support and customer success function.
Yeah.
It took us a little bit of time at Blame. I thought I could do it all, but of course I was wrong. As you scale quickly, the amount of pressure any business, whether it's service business or technology business, is going to get an intense pressure around customer support and customer success. By the way, both are two different functions. We can talk about it separately.
Yeah.
Now, how you do it, whether you want to use AI to automate that, whether you want to hire a human, that really depends upon the kind of business. I mean, I have these conversations all the time, like what functions can be automated by AI today, and what functions should stay with humans. So it really depends upon what kind of business you run, right? I can give a short example, right? Like if you are into e-commerce and your ticket size is, let's say, between 25 to $100, maybe you can automate a lot of stuff, right?
Right.
But the moment you're selling services or products more than $1,000, $1,500, and that's gonna affect someone one way or the other in the long run, such as lending, such as insurance, such as an experience. Like people want to talk to a human via voice or non-voice, right? So invest in customer support function as early as possible, because the day you click, that will become the bottleneck. And if you cannot keep your current customers happy at the pace they expect, because customers are spoiled, right? They expect answers like quickly, you will lose the race. They will move to somebody else. So it's a big lever, not just for customer retention, but also for expansion. Because if you keep them happy, it leads to trust between the two companies or the two people, right? And that trust leads to more business opportunity between the two companies or the two services or two people, right? So as early as possible, do that. I wish that I could have done that from day one, but it's okay, no regrets. But today we have a phenomenal customer support function, both automated as well as human supported, so that we provide the right kind of service to our customers.
Lovely. So in today's business world, right? People they are busy, right? People they are really busy, like crazily busy, and sometimes you could be on emails, or sometimes you could be on all these other things. So how is Bling Cloud helping busy entrepreneurs, especially those with small teams, to actually stay on top? Right now, I know you have got like the AI features, text features, calls, and all those. I think like how are you really solving those problems for your busy entrepreneurs or your startup entrepreneur? Because like these are the big companies, as you mentioned, by the time we were still starting, we know that like these big tech companies, they are either targeting this business, big businesses, and some of them really don't talk to me, but Bling really speaks to me. Yeah. So what are some of the challenges? Like how are you helping entrepreneurs? Like
Great. So now I'm going to dive into the product itself, right?
Yeah.
How do we help, right? So every business owner, whether they're a single person or they have a team of 5 to 10 people, right?
Yeah.
Ideally, we like to target businesses who have teams because they see the most ROI with our product, right? But let's say you have a team of 5 to 10 people, right? Now, the ground rule is if you're in business, you are talking to customers. You are talking to customers through multiple channels, right? You're talking to them through calls, through text, through WhatsApp, through Instagram, through Facebook, through emails, through web chat. And the list just keep going, right? TikTok, I forgot, right? We're gonna add that as well. So the list just keeps going, and it's never gonna come down.
Yeah.
Let's accept that. Okay, the list is never gonna come down. It's just gonna grow because as new generations come, more channels gonna come, right?
Yeah.
Business says just here's some. Then Google My Business, Yelp reviews. There's so many channels where your customers are either directly communicating with you or leaving reviews and all. I mean, reviews is also a communication because your customer is saying something to you, right? And so that's the first thing. The second thing is the way I think about any customer communication, it leads to two possible outcomes. A, either you're closing a sale. B, you are resolving a customer issue.
Yeah.
There's hardly a third one, right? But generally speaking, they're the two broad categories, right? Wherein a customer communication can be divided. Now, given this, whatever I mentioned, one and two, we help, number one, these businesses and their teams to bring all these channels together in one single application. So that way they're not going around and missing out on some information and all, right? It's everything is in one beautiful application, one place together. So once everything is inside, the teams have an option now to respond to these conversations, use a templated response to respond across all these conversations, and so on. At the same time, use Bling AI to automate responses across all these channels whenever they want, especially during holiday season, during off hours, so that business is running 24/7. Because the way I think about business, and this is for any entrepreneur, a business is such that even when you go to sleep, it's functioning, it's running, right? That's business, right? People are still buying from you. That's when you can say you built a business, right? That's the true success, right? You go to bed, the business is running, right? So in order to get there, communication with the customer also needs to keep up with it, right? So Bling AI app provides that added uh, power to businesses to not just automate one channel of communication. I'm not talking about a web chat on your website. Nobody has time to come to your website and continue the chat, right? People want to talk to you where they are or where they were already talking to you, right? So Bling AI is just a toggle. You toggle it on, and there are a list of questions it asks you about your business. You provide that, and it'll start communicating with them just like how you would do, right? And there's no complex engineering. It's already built inside it. So two layers, right? Number one, first step, bring every channel together so it's all in one place. Then there's Bling AI, which can learn across all these channels and can respond back to these conversations just like one of your team members would do, especially when you're short staffed or when you're off hours, or you can actually keep it on 24 hours.
Yeah.
There's no issue, right? So it depends again what kind of business you are and to what degree you want to automate conversations.
Yeah, sorry for that. Like to just also add, especially on the Bling AI. Funny thing, there are some people that always come to my Facebook, okay, and just start talking stuff, okay. And and Bling AI, like it doesn't matter what language are you speaking into, it also convert and actually start to talk in that language. I this other person, well, he's one of my friend. Okay, so he tried to talk to me. I was fast asleep because different time zone. And then when he was speaking to me in English, Bling AI was responding to him in English, and he was not getting frustrated, and Bling AI was apologizing. Then because he could see like what he's asking, and this is so professional. And then when he switched is to speaking Shona, Bling AI 10 and started also to speaking Shona. I'm like, so by the time I got up in the morning, I'm getting out and then I'm checking my Facebook. I'm like, damn, how many chats are this? 64 chats? Okay, what's been happening? I'm going through, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is something, this is so hilarious. It is really good.
I mean, that's our effort, right? Remember, like the basic rule is a business is such that it is running even when you are not there, right? And that's our part to help businesses do that and get to that level. I mean, you don't need to work 18, 24 hours to run a business. But people, they say they're working hard, they're not actually working smart,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it's our job as engineers, as technical people to build solutions to do exactly what you just mentioned, that even when you're sleeping or you're in a shower, your business is running without cheat, right? So that's our core mission and core job to do. We can go on and on with more features, but I'll let you ask questions.
Great one. Yeah, no, so what is your, I mean, your favorite feature of Bling? For me, I would say the international calling. I love that because like right now, my your business is not in terms of the team, it's not like the biggest business ever. But if somebody calls my number right now, it comes as if it's a this big corporate business that is there because you go through a call center, and when you dial whatever you dial, it's gonna direct you to the right person. When we are not available, it tell you that I'm sorry, we are not available right now. Um, uh, uh, and then this is still also happening internationally, and I love that. And the call recording, man, I love that. That is like one of my favorite feature of that. Of course, the AI and the texting and everything else, it is really good. But that international calling, it is so good at no extra cost. Man, this is so good. Yeah. So what's your favorite feature of Bling and why?
No, definitely. Like with one of the things with Bling, I also tell my team, right? Like, how do you break the barriers and boundaries to make business and commerce easier, right? And international calling, which you said, it's one of the things, right, which we offer to our clients because in today's world, there is literally no boundary. Only boundary you have is in your mind, right? So
Oh, yeah.
when you break that, there's no boundary. Technology has enabled everything, right? You can do business with anyone on this planet, right? Except for the embargo countries, right? Let's just like, but who knows? That might also change. So, but anyway, point is, as engineers, as technologists, right, our job is to give that feature. I'm glad that we were using it. Now, you're asking me a question, who's your favorite child, right? I mean, so I don't have a great answer, but what I can tell you is there's one feature I'm very excited about is our AI coach feature. Okay. Now, I want you to imagine this. You run a customer facing team, or you have a team of, let's say, 10 people across the globe working for your business. Could be more, doesn't matter, right? Let's say 10, for example.
Mhm.
They are communicating with your customers across multiple channels like calls, text, email, social media, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Including Bling AI, which is also communicating, when your people are not there and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
What AI coach does is this, and this is truly magical.
Yeah.
It understands every conversation which your team is having, whether on a phone call, whether on a text message, email. It gives score to those conversation based on different criterias. What was the sentiment of the customer? What was the sentiment of your agent? Did they follow the routine spec? Like, did they greet the customer? Did they introduce about them? Was there any pain point which was highlighted? It extracts the layers from that conversation and it provides a beautiful summary to the business owners at the end of the day. Like if they had 100 phone calls which their team managed, it will give them a graph. 20% were about support, 30% were about new business opportunity or revenue, right? 40% is about something else, right? And we'll tag that. And not just for calls, for all the channels. Now imagine when you are growing your business as business owner, you will not have time to go and respond to every single conversation. You will either use people to do that inside Bling or you'll use Bling AI to do that, right?
Yeah.
But what you really want to do is what is going on in my business? And you want to know it very quickly.
Yeah.
AI coach does that. It provides that comprehensive summary of what has happened, not just to the owner or the supervisor, but also to the agents themselves that, hey, this is where you can do better. So this way they know that they are being coached in real time, right? And they get to improve. I don't like to call it like a policing function and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's more like a coaching function so that when the agents know, okay, I can do better, I can do better. And everyone wants their team to do better, right? At the end of the day, you don't want them to like not do good. You want them to do good.
Yeah.
And the coach does that job to tell them you can do better, you could speak slowly, all that kind of stuff. So it does that. So we are very excited about this new feature and it runs across all the channels, not just on calls, SMS, text message, emails, everything.
This is so good, man. I love this. I love this, Kish. Well, yeah. Well, I'm going to actually have like some other when users that we're actually gonna share with some of these entrepreneurs. And that feature I am definitely going to try it. I hope it is active in my account already. I'm
If
just
not, we'll get it done.
perfect. No, I'm gonna really go and I check it in. Well, so we are almost done. But I just wanted to ask, like, what is your advice right now? To some other entrepreneurs out there who are still small businesses, who are also trying to stand out, or who are also trying to, look big in the market, and also brand themselves. Like, what's your advice?
Um, the only thing I tell to any new entrepreneur, right, because that's something also I've learned the hard way, do things urgently. Everything should be treated with urgency, right? Like everything, the way we put culture in our team, it should have been done yesterday, right? So move with urgency
Yeah.
and never get stuck with one thing, right? Because making mistakes is totally okay because you learn something, right? Make mistakes, don't be afraid, but don't get stuck thinking like, okay, this is what I'm doing and it's running perfectly fine and all that stuff. Because if you're not reinventing yourself and your business continuously, you're actually approaching a death. Because that's the sad truth, right? The world we're living in, things are changing so fast that you need to continuously reinvent. Every day, you need to ask yourself, what new thing can I try? And I would say, I would give a counter advice: don't listen to anyone, right? Follow your instinct. Rather, hold yourself accountable to what new thing did I do this week. So, for example, at Bling, one of the rules we have for all the teams is they have to do mandatory three new experiments every single week, in addition to whatever they're doing, right? Because that's the only way you learn whether it's working or not working. So now you can apply this principle to marketing, to sales, right? Unless you don't try, you will not know it. So don't be afraid of trying things. Just do things, be a doer, and things just happen, right? I mean, everyone has great ideas and all, but ideas have no value unless and until you try and you try new things, right? So execution is key. That should be prioritized over everything else. And also, the first thing you just said, right? Identify good customers with whom you want to spend more time and grow with them and learn from them.
I loved. Well, you know what? Your message is just fitting, because I always tell people that the amount of time that you actually take from from the time you think of an idea to the time you execute that idea, that period will determine how successful the idea is gonna be. Because if you just think and do, then you are somebody who is gonna become successful faster, other than somebody who you think and go and think about it and think about it, trying to it or whatever. Just move, learn on the go.
Move. Exactly. Keep moving forward. Exactly.
I love that. I love that. Well, and also some other great news as well that I just wanted to share with other people is that well, we are actually partnering with you, so I can be able to offer this service as well to so many other entrepreneurs that are there. So if you are watching right now, I want you to go to bncinda.com/blink, or check the link in the description. I'm so excited, brother. I'm so excited, Kish, for this amazing product that you have created. And thank you for thinking of us as small businesses, entrepreneurs, and people that have got small teams and stuff. Because what you are doing each and every day, it is really, really solving our problems that we face each and every day. Thank you so much for.
Thank you. Thank you for being a great customer, and thank you for also sharing whatever you know. I have learned a lot from you as well, and we'll continue to do that.
Yeah, no, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And there you have it, guys. Go to bncinda.com/blink, and also I will attach some links that you can also follow Kish. So he's a great guy. He's a great guy. He's a great guy. You know that I don't bring you anybody else. Namaste. Yeah, all right, brother Kish. Kish, thank you so much for all you actually doing. I took a lot of lessons out of this that I'm also gonna implement as well in my business, and I hope that other people out there that are really learning.
Mr. M. Dongo.
Mr. Dongo. Wonderful time working with Mr. G.
Mr. M. Dongo, and he is a 10x person.
I love your energy.
He just go like boom, 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 boom. It's amazing.
I always love the way this man carries himself with dignity and respect.